Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So today I have another Visconti to show you here, and it's a Visconti that I added to my collection in early 2018. And this is a lovely wooden box, stunning box from Visconti. I really do like the way that they make these boxes. So let's open up and I'll show you what we have in here. This is the Visconti Belgica. This is a stunning pen that I have in my collection. Now I'll show you a couple of other things that actually come with it. You actually get a Visconti ID warranty card. And in here it shows it's a Belgica 175-25. So it is a limited edition, and it's a stunning vermeil gold with a black resin. And so let me show you this. It also comes with another very thick, probably one of the thickest Visconti manuals that I've seen actually. And this actually shows a lot more than the average manual. It gives a whole company profile. It gives the story. It's squaring a circle there. Like it really goes into a lot of detail in terms of manufacturing the pen, the designs, and then some of the collections as well. So it is a stunning pen, and but likewise a really interesting manual. So here's an interesting way. Now you don't see this in a lot of Visconti manuals, but it actually shows you how to fill your power vac filler. So I wish Visconti would actually include that with a lot more of their pens. They don't actually do that. It even actually talks about the nib and feed in this pen. So this manual really goes into a lot of detail there, which is actually quite stunning, because you never do see this now in a lot of Visconti manuals. So this is the pen itself. So let me close the lid and we can get a better look at this. So this is the pen. It's a stunning Belgica. It's basically a vermeil overlay, gold, and you'll see here the cap finial. Now this isn't a Visconti My Pen magnet system, so you cannot put your initials on there, or the jewels or gemstones, birthstones. You'll see that you have the standard Visconti bridge clip here, and this is back enamelled, and it's sprung loaded. And then you have, coming down to the clip here, you actually have, it says Belgica and then the LE number. As you probably saw on the warranty card, this is number 25 of 175. And then you have, as we move down, you actually have a crown, and then a lovely lion there, and then another crown. And it's just a stunning pen. I do like overlays, and this is a beautiful overlay that Visconti created. It's a really lovely pen. It's actually fairly weighty, not as heavy as some of my pens like the Opera Masters and pens like that, or even the Medici Il Magnifico. That one's probably the heaviest pen that I have in my collection to date. But this is a really nice pen. Now it is a power vac filler, as I mentioned earlier. So here's you unscrew this, pull it out, and then plunge it in, and then it will suck up ink. Now this is inked up currently, so I'm not going to do that right now, because I will just eject ink everywhere. So if we unscrew this, and I'll show you here, we have an 18 karat gold nib, and this is a broad nib, and it writes a little bit more like a double broad, to be honest. It's a lovely, lovely nib. Then you have the section, some threads, and then you have the double reservoir window, ink window. So this is where you can actually lock off the ink and make sure that you don't get any ink leakage when you fly. And it's actually really, really nice pen. So in terms of size in the hand, like you can see, it's quite a large pen. Now you can post the pen if you wanted to, but this is then just crazy. So I wouldn't want to do that. But it is possible to do. The cap is quite heavy. It's quite weighty and back end because you have a lot of metal up here at the end of the cap. So it is a little bit sort of top heavy when you do that. But in terms of this, I think it's a really, really nice pen. So I think let's do some size measurements of this pen. I think in terms of the full length, we are looking at around 150 millimeters. The cap actually goes to that black bit, so it's almost about 73 millimeters in length. And then let's take off the cap and do a measurement of the whole body, including the tip of the tines. We're looking close to around 138 millimeters. So it is an oversized pen for sure. This is something to bear in mind. Now, in terms of weight, let's have a look at this. The full body of the cap, of the pen, when inked, we're looking at 61 grams. So that is a heavy pen. So it comes in around the Opera Master weight. So the cap is 25 grams, and then the body of the pen inked, we're looking at just under 36 grams. So it is a weighty pen for sure, but it's a nice pen. And I do love writing with this pen in my hand. It is a really, really nice pen. In terms of weight, I do like heavier pens, and for me this pen is just right. I do like the Opera Masters, so that's probably why I like this pen more as well, because it is actually quite a weighty pen. I do find some of the weightier pens do give me a little bit of hand fatigue the longer that I write with them. So if you do find that, then sometimes it's better just to take a break now and then. I typically will write a page of A4 on Temuray River. Most of these Viscontis are very wet writers, so they'll take a couple of minutes to dry, and I'll then go and make a cup of tea or something, and then come back, turn the page over, and then start writing again. So I'll normally write about a page at a time, have a couple of minute break, and then do that, or even start another letter and write another page for somebody else, and then come back to this one once it's dried. So, but most of the time I will just take a break, and that helps a little bit with hand fatigue. So you will. Some people get hand fatigue with heavier pens. Some people get them with smaller pens. You tend to get more hand fatigue, I believe, if you grip the pen quite hard, and I do death grip my pens quite hard, so that is probably one of the reasons why I get hand fatigue more, but I find it gives me a little bit more control over the pen. So but each to their own though. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a comparison with some other pens. So left to right we have the Visconti Opera Master Crimson Tide, the Visconti Opera Master River Thames, the Visconti Speakeasy, the Visconti Medici Il Magnifico, the Visconti Luxor, we have the Visconti Belgica, we have the Visconti Opera Silver Dust, the Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog, a Visconti Divina Metropolitan, which is a MIDI version, and we have the Visconti Divina Desert Springs. So let's do a writing sample. This is the Visconti Belgica, and this is in a broad nib. It's an 18 karat gold nib. So the ink is Uckermann Dutch Masters and it's Cerulean Blur. Now, in terms of line variation, this is a broad nib, so it's going to put down quite a wide line. The horizontals are actually going to be thinner, but in terms of normal lines, and then I try to push a little bit more. It's an 18 karat gold. You can get almost double the line variation out of it. It's an 18 karat gold nib. I wouldn't push it as much on regular writing, but you can see here in terms of swirls you'll get quite a bit of line variation. But bearing in mind it is a broad nib that writes a little bit more like a double board, so you're not going to get a huge amount of line variation, but you do see some here in the upstrokes here and then versus the downstrokes. Now, in terms of how wet this pen is, let's give this a try. It's not a super wet pen, but it's wet enough, and for me this is actually quite good. Now the ink can actually make a bit of a difference as well. I find a lot of the Uckermann inks tend to be more on the drier side. There are exceptions, but for this one though, like if I just try again, yeah, it's wet enough. It's not a fire hose nib. A fire hose nib, I would expect this to at least come half the width of the page, if not maybe even to the full width of the page. So, for me, this is a lovely pen. I was so glad I was able to add it to my collection. It's a pen that I use a lot because it is a broad nib, and I do like broad nibs. It's ultra smooth. And has a little bit of bounce to the 18 karat gold nib, and it's just one of the pens that I do like and I do gravitate more towards when I pick up a pen. And I tend to have this pen inked up more with a darker ink, and Cerulean Blur is actually a nice colour for me. It's more of like a blue-black ink, and it's an ink that I do like from Uckermann. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.